Everyone else can ignore the lobby. You cannot. The light blinks above the hotel desk while people laugh and answer the clerk like nothing is happening. A simple question reaches you with the ceiling glare, the moving smiles, the luggage wheels, and the breath beside your shoulder. Before you answer, your body has already taken in too much of the room. This is how distance can look colder than it feels. It may not begin as dislike. Sometimes the room enters all at once, and the body closes before the person decides to close. That closing can be mistaken for attitude, because from outside it only looks like distance. You are still there. You are just trying to lower the amount coming in. Inside the elevator, one button is already pressed in. The rubber skin stays dented after someone else is gone. You lift your hand, then pause. It is such a small thing, but your body reads it as pressure that did not leave with them. At the perfume counter, thin paper strips overlap in a glass cup. Other people lift them, laugh, and choose one. You stand nearby, already sorting too many smells at once. What looks like a quick choice starts to feel like another room entering you at full volume. The air feels crowded before the counter does. The strange part is how ordinary it all looks. In the convention hall, a small CCTV dome shifts above the guide area. Nobody reacts. People keep walking, but your attention keeps checking whether you are being watched from somewhere. The feeling stays quiet but active inside you. Down in the food court, the call speaker sits above the pickup counter. Orders keep moving, trays slide forward, and people turn their heads at every sound. Your tray is still empty because the room keeps asking you to listen before you can choose anything simple. A hospital waiting hall makes the pattern harder to dismiss. The cracked number display changes slowly, but you notice shoulders tightening first. You are not just feeling more, you are processing more. Nothing is louder than usual, but more of it has to be handled. The number on the wall is only one part of the room. A short sigh arrives like information. A held jaw becomes another thing to sort. Someone smiles too quickly, and your attention moves there before the screen changes. By the time your number appears, you have already worked through half the room in silence. That is the quieter problem. At the civil service hall, a metal buzzer trembles on the table, and your body treats it like one more task. Light, sound, posture, and delay do not stay separate. There is no single loud moment. There are too many small ones arriving together. They gather before you can put any of them down. At the security checkpoint, a clear acrylic shield stands between faces. Fingerprints cover the surface. The barrier is supposed to separate people, but the traces remain. You answer politely, while your eyes keep catching what stayed on the glass. Even the space between people needs processing. In the exhibition audio area, closed headphones rest beside a small recording sticker. Everyone is offered more explanation, another voice, another layer. You are not looking for a better explanation. You are looking for one fewer thing to carry. The bookstore is calm from far away. Under the bright display light, pages turn softly, and people lean over new books. But your eyes keep catching the shine before the book can hold you. Even pleasant places can become too sharp when nothing softens them. A loose tile near the theater counter makes people adjust their step. Most of them forget it immediately. You hear it once, then expect it every time. The small repeat becomes a private alarm that nobody else knows they are walking across again and again. In the parent waiting area, fan shadows move across chairs and faces. A place built for resting still feels like it is scanning the room in slow circles. Nobody asks anything from you, but your body keeps answering what the light is doing overhead. The folded distance marker outside the fitting rooms leans against the wall. Space is requested, then ignored. You notice the gap before anyone says they are uncomfortable. The problem is not that people are close. It is that the boundary keeps changing without warning. An automatic door opens before you decide anything. People move close, then away, then close again. The rhythm reaches you before the doorway does. You are not avoiding people as much as avoiding the constant change in distance between bodies around your path. And this is where it changes. Distance is not a personality trait here. It is the body cutting down the number of things it has to take in. A step back does not fix the room. It simply makes the room small enough to stay inside. It is not a speech. It is not a statement. It is a reduction in intake. You notice it in your shoulders first. In the underground corridor, the metal vent pulls at the edge of your attention. The floor reflects light in broken patches, and your pace becomes smaller. It is not fear. It is the effort of moving through a place that keeps touching your senses from two directions. It is not dramatic, it is usable. A rotating door turns with a small drag in its center. Others pass through without thinking. You wait until the motion finishes because your body wants one clean gap. The pause looks unnecessary from outside. From inside, it is how you stay steady enough to move. Back at the elevator, the pressed button is still the clearest picture. This time, it does not just show pressure. It shows the moment before you add more. The dent is small, but the choice around it has become larger than the button itself. Your hand lifts, then stops. Someone behind you shifts their weight. You step back, not to punish anyone, but to stop collecting every mark in the room. The distance is quiet. It does not explain itself. It only gives your body a smaller field to hold. You keep the pause. The perfume counter feels different after that. The paper strips are still waiting, but politeness no longer requires testing everyone. You leave several untouched. The refusal is almost invisible. It is simply one less doorway into your body for 1 minute. The food court speaker calls again somewhere behind you. It reaches your ears, but it does not take over the choice. You notice the old pull and keep walking before the room finishes speaking. Your next step becomes your answer. The acrylic shield at the checkpoint catches another set of fingerprints. You notice them without accepting the job of carrying them. The marks remain on the glass. That is where they belong. They do not have to enter the rest of the day. At the automatic door, people pass in a loose stream. Their rhythm no longer becomes your assignment. You let one person go first, and the extra second changes the pressure. Nothing is solved. The doorway simply asks less from your body. The folded distance marker waits by the fitting room wall again. The space is still imperfect. You stop treating that imperfection as something to correct with your own tension. A narrow gap can stay narrow. Your body keeps one clean inch. The speaker above the information desk sways slightly. The announcement continues without needing your full attention. You take only the part that helps you move. The rest can remain in the room. For once, listening does not mean collecting everything. Near the theater counter, the loose tile is still there. You hear the repeat, but you do not wait for the next step to confirm it. The line moves and you let the sound end without following it. A small earplug case sits open in your palm. One side is missing. It is not complete protection, but it is still a choice to reduce the input. The broken case does not fix the day. It marks the wish to stop absorbing all of it at once. The missing side makes the choice visible. The panels behind you stay quiet and plain too. Closed headphones rest beneath the wall samples. Earlier, they looked like escape. Here they look closer to a standard, a smaller opening for the world. The question is no longer whether you can handle more. It is whether more gets to enter without a pause. Enough becomes easier to recognize when the room no longer decides for you. Distance was not the absence of care. It was the first boundary your body could feel. Not rejection, not superiority, and not a colder heart. The care was still there. The room did not disappear. But for once, it did not get to enter all at once. Distance was not where care ended. It was where input finally stopped.